Hello and welcome back to my channel, The Weekly Wrap. I am so excited that you all are here watching my video because I have 7 interesting stories I would like to talk to you all about that are very controversial and that are intense, sparking debates that are happening here in the United States, in America, in this nation and beyond. We're going to talk to you about, I'm going to talk to you about new trade wars, book bans, Wisconsin Supreme Court's elections, and more. So you do not want to miss these details. Hang around, hold on tight, because we are going to talk to you right now. Let's get to it.
Thanks. So, if you look at that, China, first row, China, 67%. That's tariffs charged to the USA, including currency manipulation and trade barriers. So, 67%, I think you can, for the most part, see it. Those with good eyes, with bad eyes. We didn't want to bring, it's very windy out here, we didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing.
President Donald Trump has just introduced what he calls Liberation Day tariffs, imposing heavy taxes on imports from countries like China, Mexico, and the European Union. The idea behind the tariffs is to protect American businesses and encourage local production, which sounds great in theory, but there is where it gets complicated. History has shown that tariffs often lead to retaliatory measures from other countries, making American exports more expensive and potentially harming the very industries they are meant to protect. Critics warn that this move could trigger another trade war, pushing inflation even higher and making everyday goods more expensive for consumers. On the other hand, Trump supporters argue that these tariffs will reduce reliance on foreign goods and bring manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. Let's talk about the growing battle over books in schools and libraries. Across the U.S., conservative groups are pushing for new laws to ban books they consider obscene, which in many cases means books featuring LGBTQ plus themes or discussions about race. The argument from these groups is that young children or young kids shouldn't be exposed to certain content that they believe is inappropriate for their age. But on the flip side, many people see this as outright censorship, warning that it sets a dangerous precedent for controlling what knowledge is accessible. This isn't just about a few books being pulled from the shelves. It's part of a broader ideological war from over-education, parenting rights, and who gets to decide what's appropriate for children. Some parents believe they should have the ultimate say over what their kids read, while others argue that banning books erases important histories and perspectives. So should schools have the right to decide what books students can access? Or is this a dangerous step toward controlling knowledge? Now, let's turn our attention to Wisconsin, where a recent Supreme Court election has become a national talking point. And it's not just because of the candidates, it's because of the money. Billionaire tech mogul Elon Musk and other high-profile figures have poured massive amounts of money into influencing the results. This raises a critical question. Should the wealthy have this much power over our legal system? Some argue that the campaign donations are simply part of our democracy, allowing individuals to support candidates who align with their beliefs.
For justice in Wisconsin.
But others fear that when billionaires and corporations can fund judicial races, it determines the fairness of our courts. If judges can be bought by those with the deepest pockets, what happens to justice? Will court rulings be influenced by powerful donors rather than by the law itself? This case in Wisconsin is highlighting the broader issue of money in politics. Let us talk tech. TikTok is once again in the hot seat, fighting against a U.S. law that could ban the app unless its parent company ByteDance sells its American operations. The government claims the app is a national security threat, potentially giving China access to user data, but TikTok isn't going down without a fight. The company argues that banning the platform is not just about security, it's about stifling competition and silencing a platform that has become a major voice for young people and small businesses. With millions of Americans using TikTok daily, a ban would be a massive cultural and economic shift. Small businesses owners who rely on TikTok for marketing could lose their customer base overnight. Content creators who build careers on the app could see their income vanish. The debate here is about more than just one social media platform. It's about the balance between security, free speech, and the government's role in regulating the internet. So, is this a justified move to protect national security? Speaking of online platforms, states like Florida and Tennessee are taking things even further by passing laws restricting kids' access to social media. Some of these laws require parental consent, while others outright ban social media use for minors under a certain age. Supporters of these laws argue that social media exposes children to harmful content, cyberbullying, and even online predators. They believe these laws will help protect your users from the negative effect of excessive screen time and online dangers. However, opponents argue that these regulations are government overreach, interfering with parental rights and restricting young people's access to information and communication. The debate here is a tough one. Do these laws really protect kids, or are they just another way for the government to control the internet? Artificial intelligence is advancing at an unprecedented rate. It also raises serious concerns about privacy and bias, with AI now being used in hiring, policing, and even legal decisions. Critics warn that it could reinforce discrimination, make unfair decisions, or invade personal data without proper oversight. Some people argue that strict regulations are needed to prevent AI from making harmful or biased decisions. The government is currently facing pressures to step in, but what should the regulation look like? The AI debate is only just beginning. Lastly, let's talk about something that affects all of us: clean drinking water. The EPA has introduced strict new rules on PFAS, also known as forever chemicals, found in water supplies across the country. These chemicals have been linked to serious health issues, including cancer. While many celebrate the new regulation as a win for public health, industries are pushing back, claiming that water safety is a fundamental issue, but who should bear the cost of cleaning it up? Should industries be forced to pay, or should taxpayers foot the bill? This is a classic case of public health versus economic impact. Well, there you have it, the top biggest controversial stories that I have presented to you this evening. Well, I would like to know your opinion. What do you think about these stories? Do you support their policies, or do you think they have gone too far? Just leave me a comment and let me know what you think and what your opinions are. If you enjoy me bringing you these stories each week, please give me thumbs up, okay? Give me thumbs up. And share my videos. I would really appreciate that. Please subscribe. I need at least 1,000 subscribers so that I can get my channel monetized. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining with me this evening. I enjoyed being here and giving you the information. to keep you all updated. So for now, I will see you next in the next video. You take care. Bye now.